Hi guys, it's Miss Lindsay here. Happy Spirit Day and happy Friday. So for our Spirit Day art project this year, we are going to be celebrating our theme, which is Spirit of Mystery. And for our project, we are going to be making these really cool color changing sliders. Now they start off pretty plain, just black and white, but when I pull the tab on the side, all of this color magically appears. Now, if you look at my drawings, I made a magnifying glass and some puzzle pieces, but you get to draw and kind of make this project however you'd like it to look. And just a reminder that sometimes when we're doing this project, your pictures might be hidden behind this envelope, and that's okay because as soon as I pull the slider out, all of them magically appear again. So don't worry about keeping everything centered in that little square in the center. All right, so these are the supplies that we are going to need for this project. Our envelope and insert, a Sharpie, and markers, crayons, or colored pencils. Okay, so I'm going to start with my marker, and in the center of my paper, I'm going to start writing the word Spirit of Mystery. So I'm going to make my lettering really silly, a little wacky, because it is mysterious, so I want it to be a little mysterious. So I'm going to start writing the letter S and the letter P, and I'm going to keep going, and if you want to follow along with what I'm doing, you definitely can. And again, you can make your letters a lot different than what I'm making them. I'm making mine a little swirly and a little silly. And then I'm deciding where I want to put of to go, at the top or in the middle. And I think I'm going to put it right below the word spirit. And I have a really good idea. I'm going to change my letter O into a magnifying glass. And to do that, I'm just going to make almost like an exclamation point on the inside. And I'm going to make a little tiny oval underneath and color it in, and a teeny tiny rectangle under that. And that's how I made my magnifying glass. But you can always make your letters turn to something else. You can definitely make it as silly or as mysterious as you want it to be. And again, you don't necessarily have to write what I'm writing. You can always draw a different picture if you'd like, but feel free to follow along. And just a reminder, you can always use a pencil first. In case you're worried about making a mistake, you can always erase with a pencil. If you start with your marker or your crayon first, it's kind of a little bit harder to erase those. So just a heads up, if you want to start with a pencil first, go for it. So now I'm deciding what kind of images I want to create around the word Spirit of Mystery. Now you could definitely do some really cool paint splatter. You can draw a really cool image. You can make rainbows, you can make footprints, maybe you can make puzzle pieces. It's really up to you, the decorations you want to make on your white piece of paper. Okay, so once you're done drawing everything on your white piece of paper, now you get to color it in. And make sure you use a lot of color. You want it really bright and really colorful to make that really cool illusion appear. Now, just a reminder to take your time when you're coloring in. Make sure you're slowing down. Even when you're drawing your images, like I was doing, I wasn't going super fast. I was kind of really thinking about where I wanted everything to go. That's the same thing I'm doing when I'm coloring. I'm thinking about the colors I want to use and I'm taking my time. Now I'm going to speed up the video just a little bit, but just remember, I'm not going to be coloring in super duper quick. That's just the video speeding up super fast. All right, so if we're all done coloring, we're going to put that clear piece of plastic on top of our drawing, and this is where we're going to need our Sharpie. Now, if you look at the example, when I lift up that clear piece of plastic, you're going to see all of the Sharpie on top. So we're going to be tracing on top of that clear piece of plastic exactly what we just colored in. And we're going to do this really carefully, because if we don't trace it like we drew it, the illusion won't be there. So I'm going to put my piece of plastic down, I'm going to grab my Sharpie, and I'm going to really carefully just trace over what I made before. So I'm going to start with my S, and I'm going to go super slow, and I'm going to start with the next letter, and you're just going to keep tracing with your Sharpie on top of what you already drew. All right, so you can always lift that clear piece of plastic up to double check that you didn't miss anything. And I think I got everything traced with my Sharpie. So the next thing you can do, and this is optional, you can take your envelope, which is this part, and if you would like to decorate the outside of it, you can. I might do some polka dots on the outside of mine and maybe some paint splatter, but that's optional. If you want to add some decoration on the outside, feel free. Okay, so now comes the tricky part, and that is creating the illusion. So if you look at your envelope, you're going to see that there's a white piece of paper that divides the front and the back. Now we want to put our colorful piece of paper behind that white piece of paper in the middle of our envelope. So I'm going to take my piece of paper that I just colored, and I'm going to slip it behind that white dividing paper, just like this. Now the next part in front of that white piece of paper is going to go our clear plastic piece of paper, and we're just going to slip it right in front of that white dividing paper, and we're just going to gently slide it in. And then once you have both pieces in, you're going to push your slider all the way down, and then look at that, we have our color changing mystery slider. Now let's pull it out and see if it color changes. You ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, perfect, it worked. I cannot wait to see your color changing sliders. I know you guys are gonna make some awesome artwork. I cannot wait to see it. I hope you guys had such a fun time. I will see you soon.